Everybody, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Today we're looking at the Umarex Glock 17 Gen 4 and the Glock 19 Gen 3, and both of these are gas blowback airsoft pistols. I have reviewed this gun in a similar version, and I will kind of compare it in a bit here, but this is the Glock 17 Gen 4 gas blowback, but you'll notice it has no big long sticky thing, barrel kind of stick things coming out of the barrel. This was the previous version that we were able to bring into Canada. Not sure exactly how we got them in. They did have the red tips. I took it off. You'll notice it has the threading here for the red tip. So I imagine you could thread other things on there, maybe a mock suppressor. But you'll notice the inner barrel is much shorter. We just don't have these ones anymore. They're not in stock. So what we have is literally the exact same gun here, but with these longer barrels. And you might kind of wonder, why are we selling them now with the longer barrel? This is essentially for Canadian import. We have regulations here in Canada that require our airsoft guns to be imported. They must shoot a .20 gram Airsoft BB at a velocity over 360 FPS. So in order to get the FPS or the velocity higher, we need to use an extended barrel like this in the gun, because as the gas expands, it has more area to expand in, allowing for that BB to go faster and have a higher velocity, therefore getting it up and over the 360 FPS required for Canada import. In this case, these guns shoot around 410 FPS using .20 gram Airsoft BBs. We'll talk a little bit more about the longer barrels and what can be done about that, but let's get into some of the specifications. And keep in mind, these guns are available in our Canada Replica Airgun store. These are the Canadian versions with the longer barrels. All right, just to clear it up, we have the Glock 19 Gen 3 right here. We have the Glock 17 Gen 4 right here. So the longer version is the Glock 17. The shorter version is the Glock 19. So they both come in cardboard boxes, and I might as well just show you them really quickly right now. There's nothing too exciting about them. These are the longer boxes because the barrels are super long, and so they have to fit into the box. We wouldn't want a barrel sticking out of the box, would we? Some basic specifications are going to be on the boxes, not too much. Both of the boxes will look identical. In the boxes, you get your manuals. Okay, they're nice manuals. So you get basically, you have a manual that covers both of them. So depending on which one you get, you'll get the same manual. Okay, basic information inside, of course, right? Trigger, sighting, loading of gas and airsoft BBs. Okay, how to aim it, right? How to take it apart if you want to field strip it. How to adjust the hop up right there. Okay, and how to clean out the barrel if you need to clean it out. Stuff like that. Okay, and then other languages, of course. Okay. Now, as you can expect, these guns shoot 6mm plastic airsoft BBs, and they both have gas blowback full-size dropout metal magazines that hold either 22 rounds, and that would be for the Glock 17, or 19 rounds for the Glock 19, and that magazine holds both the BBs and the green gas. You're going to find full blowback action with both of these guns. The Glock 17 being a little bit larger, comes in at 1.66 pounds, while the Glock 19 weighs 1.64 pounds. They both have smoothbore 10.8-inch barrels as is, and they have a total length of 14 inches with that extended barrel. You're going to find adjustable hop-up on both of these pistols with single action only triggers. Again, they have a claimed 410 FPS using .20 gram Airsoft BBs, and these guns, like the original real steel version, have a metal slide with a polymer frame. You're going to find white dot sights front and back, and it's questionable about how easy it is to adjust them or even replace them with aftermarket, potentially real steel sights. That is questionable, but I do know that the rear sight can be adjusted. It does slide out. There's a screw just in behind underneath the slide. You can loosen off, and you should be able to push that slide out, adjust it left and right so you can adjust it for windage. And both these guns are distributed by Umarex and made in Taiwan. They are also Glock licensed through Umarex. Again, I wanted to just really quickly compare the Glock 17s. They are the same gun, okay? Just what you're going to find is the barrels are a little different. You'll notice I kind of like the barrel here. It looks more realistic. So when you take that red tip out, you get this sort of really thin outer barrel, right? Doesn't look that real. You got all the threading in there. Kind of looks a little bit weird. So I imagine if you cut down this barrel, the gun's actually going to look a little bit better. You can recess that barrel similarly to how this barrel is recessed. So recess it in a little bit, cut it down. You could even, coat it with a nice little black paint. It'll be very discreet, and the gun would probably look better. It's just a matter of cutting down that inner barrel. At this point, we're going to do just a quick walk around of these guns to show you them up nice and close. It's always nice to see these guns up close, detailed, right? Got all your Glock licensing on these guns, your takedown levers there, or buttons, whatever you want to call them, for field stripping it, which I will do. I will field strip one of these guns. Your slide catch release. Okay, there's that inner barrel. It comes way out there. You've got your white dot sight on the front, white dot sight in the back, right? Magwell right through it. Take that out. Magazine release. You do have a working trigger safety, so you can't use it unless you actually engage it, right? Okay. Got your rail on there. Glock licensing again. Textured grips. On this side you have some more licensing, serial number. Okay. In the bottom, again, serial number, little metal plate. There's your warning instructions. Okay. Let's quickly take a look at the magazine. Okay, you got your pseudo ammunition holes that aren't really holes. There's your CO2 valve or gas valve. Okay, if you want to actually take this plate off, should work here. Other side, no. Yeah, there we go. So you just pull that down, and then you can pop this plate off, and it falls on the ground. So there's your gas valve. There's your gas valve right there. More Glock licensing. Okay. Quickly take a look at the 19, a little smaller, but pretty much identical. Okay. All the same. And interestingly enough, you can use the Glock magazine, the longer version, so the Glock 17 in the 19 should work. Right? You can see it works. Okay. But not the other way around, because this one's too short. But you can use it. They both have, obviously, blowback action. Okay. Let's quickly do a field strip of one of the guns. We might as well use the Glock 19 and just take the mag out. Pull those tabs down. The slide comes off. You can easily remove the guide rod and slide spring, and then you should be able to push this back and down. And here is your outer barrel with your inner barrel. Try and get that out. You might have to actually undo a screw or something, but you can't. There it goes. Okay, so there's your outer barrel. Okay, so you just basically can cut this down at this point, measure it out, and cut it down if you want to. With a hacksaw or Dremel or something, touch up the black on there, and you're good to go. So not that difficult to do, really. At the end of the day, very easy to do. It's just the way it is, the way we have to import them. Not a huge deal. It's just what it is. Okay. Get this back in. Okay. I forgot to show you the hop up, but you do have the little hop up wheel. You don't even have to take that apart, but here it is. Okay, there's your little hop up wheel right there. If you want to adjust the hop up, it's easy to do. And then you're back in business. All right, let's talk some pros and cons and then finish up this video review. Both these guns have decent weight and feel to them. Their build quality seems really good. They're really nice looking replicas of the original Glock 17 Gen 4 and the Glock 19 Gen 3. Again, they're fully Glock licensed via Umarex all throughout the guns. And they both have easy to see white dot sights front and back, with the rear sight being adjustable for windage. You're going to find recessed barrels that will add realism once you cut down that inner barrel, of course. And both of these guns have accessory rails for adding on either tack lights or lasers. Both of them also have full-size dropout metal magazines that hold both the green gas and the 6mm Airsoft BBs. You will find that you can get a little bit more in the Glock 17 versus the 19 since it is a longer magazine. And the warning instructions are nice and discreet under that trigger guard. You don't really even see them unless you start looking for them. And they both have that traditional, nice, light, but not overly light, single action only trigger, as the blowback action precocks that internal striker. And they both have working trigger safeties with the bonus of no red tips on either one of these guns. All right, just a couple cons. They only come with that longer barrel, so you will need to either cut it down or replace it with a shorter barrel from perhaps a US version, or order it through Umarex. Maybe we'll have them in the future on our website that you can order them with the gun when you buy these guns. Now, as far as I know, there's no way to put a mock suppressor to cover that extended barrel if you wanted to keep the velocity higher, because there's really no threading on that outer barrel area to do that with. All right, again, these guns are available in our Canada Replica Airgun store over at replicaairguns.ca. So check out the link in the description. I'll put a link in the description for you guys to buy them. If you're interested in the US version, we will have different versions without the extended barrels, of course, that you can buy that will have the red tips there. I'll try and remember to put a link for the US version too for my US viewers. I will be making a shooting video shortly, so stay posted for that. That'll be next up for these guns. I'll test them out, of course, with these longer barrels. That'll give us an idea of what the true FPS using the longer barrels is. You can then kind of compare that to the testing I did with the shorter barrel version of the same gun and see what difference it makes. All right, I want to thank you again for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Username is Replica Airguns. If you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, then check out our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.